Hi there, in this video I'm going to share with you how you can start writing songs even if you think you're a terrible songwriter. Now, when I started writing songs a really long time ago, I was convinced that I was really bad at songwriting, that I would never get anywhere and that I would always be bad at writing songs. And the reason this was because I wasn't really around many people who wrote songs. My mum wrote songs. She was in a band for a little while I was a kid, probably between the ages of like 8 and 10. But she didn't really want to be a professional singer, A, and B, she didn't know really what to do with the songs that she had. So I had a very limited experience of people around me writing songs and taking them out into the world. And so when I started trying to write songs, I was a really bad guitarist. I wasn't a particularly good singer, and I'm still a terrible guitarist now. And I just didn't know what to do. And it took me a really, really long time to build up the skill. And even after I had had some experience with writing songs, it took me a long time even after that to feel confident about getting my songs out and sharing them with other people. So if that sounds similar to you, maybe you haven't started writing songs at all, or you've had some experience and you're getting stuck and you're getting confused and frustrated, then this video is for you. Now, even if you're someone for whom songwriting comes easy, you might find that something comes up in this video that will help you, that you can share with someone else who finds it difficult to write songs. Because people who are good at stuff always get people asking them how to go about starting. Now, if you've never written a song before, you'd be forgiven for believing that either you have to start at the start, so you start at the beginning where the song begins, or you start by writing a line or a couple of lines. But that doesn't always have to be the case. Now, there are lots of different ways that people write songs. For me, I tend to hear everything all at once and I have to try and get everything out and recorded somewhere, either written down or in a voice note on my phone, or I have to go to one of my instruments and get the chord progression out and being like that because it's hectic. It feels hectic. I often wake up with a full song in my head and I have to scramble around and try and get everything down. Sometimes I'll just have a line, and other times I might just hear a melody or a chord progression. So everyone writes in different ways, and you might write in different ways at different times. So there isn't one correct way. Ideas come in all different shapes and forms. Now, I've helped hundreds of people write songs. Maybe they've written one song, or maybe they've gone on to write many songs and become semi-professional or professional artists in their own right. So I've worked with people who I've worked with for 1 week in a youth club, and people who are actually professional artists and they're out and they are playing their original music and getting paid gigs. So I've worked with people who are in lots of different stages of development as songwriters. So I stopped writing about 10 years ago, and when I started songwriting again about 2 years ago, I came up against all of the same barriers that I had come up against right at the beginning when I started trying to write songs. And one thing that I found really, really helpful was to just write down everything that comes into mind. It doesn't have to make sense. So if I have an idea that isn't a full song, I will just write down lots of words that come to mind. Now, the benefits of brainstorming is that you can just write without judgment. All you're doing is writing a whole load of words and phrases down. None of them need to make sense. If you're new to writing, you're going to be constantly analysing what you write, and that's normal. But if you just write freely, without thinking that it's got to be good, that it's got to make sense, that people have got to like it, then you're going to be much more creative, and what you write is going to be much more authentic. Brainstorming boosts creativity, so you'll find that you are able to generate so much more than you first believe. If you were to think, oh, I'm going to write 4 lines, which is what I used to do, I used to overanalyze these lines and it killed my creativity. So I would be writing and that I don't like that word, or that doesn't rhyme with that, or that rhythm doesn't go. But had I just written down a whole load of words, I probably would have had a lot more success with writing songs a lot sooner than I actually did. And the other great thing about brainstorming is that you can use mind maps and whatever it is that you use, lists or bubbles, whatever it is, collages, you can always come back and use those for other songs. It actually takes some time, just 10 minutes, sit down, get a piece of paper, paper and pen is best, okay? Because the action of writing engages your hand with your brain and actually increases creativity. So get a pen and paper, set a timer, because deadlines are fantastic for our brains, and write down all of the words that come to mind around a certain idea or theme. And what this is going to do, the more that you write, the more that you generate. And when you feel like you've got enough, write 10 more. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you the confidence to start getting your ideas out into the open. So you don't have to start with a full chorus. You don't even have to start with a fully written line, okay? Because songs are always evolving, they're always changing. The more you go back and look at them, the more that they evolve. And if you ever go and see an artist or a band who've been around for a long time, you'll hear at the gigs that the songs aren't exactly the same. If they're good musicians, the songs aren't exactly the same 10 years later as they were when they were first written. And that's because creativity is always evolving, always flowing. So if you feel like you're no good at songwriting, or you feel like you used to be good and you're getting stuck, or you've got a particular song that you're stuck on, get yourself a blank piece of paper. Doesn't have to be blank. Get yourself a piece of paper, give yourself 10 minutes, write down all of the words that come to mind, then write 10 more. Go away, come back, pick out the key words and key phrases that stand out to you and create another list or mind map, okay? Some people don't like lists, mind maps. You can use different colours. I've got a pen pot here that's full of, I've got multiple reds, multiple greens, multiple blues, and I like creating very colourful, I'm not artistic like drawing wise in any way, but I like creating very colourful mind maps because different things will jump out at you. And then what you can then do is start to play around with different words. Maybe you'll see words or phrases that jump out at you that are rhyming. And so once you've done this a few times, you're going to have more confidence in yourself as a songwriter, and you're going to feel like you're able to move forward with your songwriting. This tip has come from my brand new ebook that I've just published. It's called Songwriting Mastery. You can get a copy of it. It's absolutely packed with different ideas, tips and strategies to get your ideas out of your head and out into the world. So if you feel that that's something that can help you, if this video has helped you, there is so much more inside that ebook. So I invite you to go to the pinned comment. All you need to do is click the link there, pop your details in, and I'm going to send that to you. Now, you may need to wait a couple of hours for the email to arrive, so it's not going to be downloadable straight away. You'll receive an email, and inside that email is the link to download the ebook. So there are a couple of steps, but the first step, just go in, pop your details into the link, and you'll see that all of this will flow and you'll end up with the ebook in your hands. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Stay hydrated. Ciao!